is up, guys? This is Hanx-Saber giving you guys a Nekroz deck profile here in the month of September 2015. So the last Nekroz deck profile I did was back in July, I believe, right as the format changed. Now, with that being said, a lot of cards got cut in that deck profile. Obviously, Jin left and a few things disappeared, and so we had to improvise and put new choices in. So that list was a little bit more chaos-y. We were playing BLS, so this one's a little bit different, though. So despite the success of my last deck profile, I wanted to make a lot of changes to the Nekroz deck, and I really feel this is my best all-time Nekroz deck that I have played in like some kind of form of competitiveness. So I really like this build, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get right into the list, shall we? So to stick with the dragon theme, we're gonna play one copy of Nekroz the Decisive Armor. Decisive Armor is in here strictly because of the fact that we get to play cards like Exa, Enforcer of the Nekroz, and that searches out our Decisive Armor or our Catastor. So the fact that we can search these guys a little bit more easily without using our Bryonic search is quite better. And of course, Shred is there, but also we still have a lot of other resources in our deck to tribute off of this guy. So we are playing the Decisive Armor, and then we're only playing one copy of Trishula. So for the longest time, I played 2 Trishula, no Decisive Armor. I feel like since Decisive Armor is more searchable now, the Trishula is still there, but I feel like 1 is still a better number right as of now because of the fact that there's a lot of back row in the format, and I didn't want to really waste all my resources to get a Trishula only to be warninged or something like that. So I feel like a Trishula, 2 Trishula was not needed, and so the 1 Trishula is working quite fine. And so we're playing one of that. Then I'm going to play one copy of Nekroz of Gungnir. So Nekroz of Gungnir is another card that, a lot of steeds rolling around. There's a lot of massive removal. If you play a Cosmo deck, the better Cosmo duelists are playing massive removal cards like Triple Mirror Force, Torrential, Bono, stuff like that. And so having at least one Gungnir to stop at least one of those destructions is quite nice, and really hinders your opponent's game state. So we are playing that, and so the last one we're playing, at least in the Nekroz lineup of rituals, we are playing with Nekroz and Catastor. So this is still in here. In my latest deck profile, we weren't playing the X's, the Dance Princess, or the Great Sorcerer. In this one we are. So Nekroz and Catastor is quite a bit useful. We're not playing the BLS in this list. That was more of the last list, but Nekroz and Catastor is still a very good card, and we are playing Ally Justice Catastor in our extra deck to sack off and to play the Nekroz and Catastor quite easily. So Nekroz and Catastor is a very good card in this deck. So we are playing those as our 4 1-ups for our rituals, and so then we will move into our 3 copies of Nekroz of Valkyrius. So Nekroz of Valkyrius is still the best card in this deck. Obviously, you want to be playing this card, almost like a Dante, maintaining your advantage throughout the duel. Very important, especially in the mirror match. Very important to play 3. You obviously side 1 out in any matchup that's not Nekroz, but in Nekroz mirror match, it's very important to cycle through your Valks, tribute, and hopefully draw into another one, or search if you tribute a sorcerer. So again, it's very important to play 3 Valk in the main, and again, it's side 1 out if you're playing something that's not Nekroz. So there's that. And then we are playing the 2 copies of Nekroz of Bryonic, and so Nekroz of Bryonic, obviously, still your main searcher, and still going to be that card that, again, will keep you afloat. So we're playing that, and then, of course, the 3 Unicore, probably more viable than it is now than ever. Again, so nice, and of course, especially in the Konami format, where Trishula is still on the loose to recycle your Trishulas, and of course cycle your Valkyriuses and whatnot, and keep your Shrits in play in your hand, and that's really nice. So 3 Unicore, and then I was playing 3 Colossus. I cut it down to 2, and 3 Colossus is actually very, very good, and if there was a 41st card, it would be a 3rd Colossus. Now, Colossus is very important, and more important than you think in the Tower Knight match and in the Shadal match. Having that Colossus to keep on negating your opponent's construct before they even have a chance to get it out is quite nice. And of course they turn it to 0, and of course negating its effects, so it makes construct a terrible card, actually. and they actually have to, Shaddoll players have to lose a lot of advantage to get rid of a Colossus, and it's really underrated. So I was playing 3, and 3 was really good at, sacking a Colossus to search a mirror to get another Colossus and special the Colossus. And by all means, would I side, if I were to give you guys a side deck, I would play a third Nekroz of Colossus just because of the fact it's so nice in any matchup that isn't the mirror match. And so, again, it's very good against any deck that rogue or comes, plays a lot from the extra deck and comes, just out of their extra deck, like, so much. And so Colossus is really good in those matches. So we played 2 Colossus, and for the non-rituals, so that's it for the rituals. So, quite a standard ritual lineup, I believe it is. So we're playing that, and then for the Nekroz, we are playing the 1 Shrit, the 1 Dance Princess, the 1 Great Sorcerer, and the 1 Exa. We'll go through them one by one. Obviously, Shrit's in there for, obviously, easier ritual summons, getting out your Decisive Armor easily, getting out your Trishula easily, getting out whatever your Valkyrius easily, and of course recycling it back with Dance Princess, and you have some other resources to do that. And so Shrit is really good, and obviously still can play it as a 1-of. Now, Dance Princess, now my friend Tyson, who actually beat Patrick Hoban in Nats, I believe it was Nats, yes, and he just, I was on the brink of not playing Dance Princess, but he really explained it to me like this, it really is a card that can get through any floodgate, if they flip the vanities, you get the Dance Princess with the Decisive Armor, destroy one of their monsters and get rid of the vanities, and so, Dance Princess is a very important card to play in the main deck, and we are going to play that. And Great Sorcerer and Exa, they're like simultaneously, because for similar reasons. I mean, I feel like if you get sack it off with Valk, it's like a +3 when it happens, so it's nice to get those plays off, and it just keeps your advantage and searches out things like with Great Sorcerer you search out Valk, with Exa you search out Decisive Armor. You can search these things without using your Bryo searches or your Unicorn searches, so that's quite nice. So we are playing the 4 1-ofs in those, and then probably like the most successful card in my main deck that I have tested and has really been successful in my main deck has been Heroic Challenger, Assault Halberd. So Assault Halberd has been very important, actually. I really quite like it in the main deck, and ever since I started playing it, I really enjoy playing this deck more and more. Now, so what Assault Halberd does is the Cyber Dragon. Basically, if your opponent controls a monster, you don't control a monster, you can special summon this from your hand, and if it deals damage, which it, like most situations it does deal damage, you can search another one. So this thins your deck. This also is is really good because most times you do have like big beefy rituals to tag over your other monsters and to attack with Assault Halberd, deal damage, and to search another Assault Halberd is again quite nice, and an order target as well. So we are playing the 3 Assault Halberd. Now Assault Halberd is also really good for if you special summon it. If you're going second, right? You're starting out with 6 cards, and your opponent has 5. You special summon that. So then you can normal summon a Manju, a Senju, and in a lot of cases, if they set a lot of back row, you can obviously search a Bryo, and then after you search the Bryo, you can overlay for Exciton Knight, ditch the Bryo, and chain Exciton Knight. Exciton Knight will blow up their board and destroy their back row. Then Brynach will resolve and will search your card. So what I used to do is I used to summon Manju and not search just so I can get off Exciton Knight. But you can actually work in a creative way where you can still blow up their board and still gain advantage. So I really like the Assault Halberd, and of course we're playing 3 Manju and 3 Senju. So going second is so relevant in most matches. Any match that plays a lot of back row is very important, so we are playing that. And so now we're getting into the spell cards, the beef of the deck. And so we will play 2 copies of Nekroz Mirror, as usual. We will play 2 copies of Nekroz Kaleidoscope, as usual. However, probably the biggest thing in my deck is I'm only playing 1 copy of Nekroz Cycle. Now, Nekroz Cycle, I feel, is a card that has been better when Shrit was at 3. And really, I know you're playing Dance Princess, I know you're playing Sorcerer, I know you're playing Exa, I know you're playing Shrit. However, I feel like Nekroz Cycle was just a dead card playing it on multiples. If you were to draw 2, you would pretty much lose the match that you were playing, and or at least the game that you were playing, and I feel like it was not necessary to play a second. And I feel that you can creatively recycle it back with Unicorn, and you really don't need multiple. So I'm only playing the 1 cycle. It's something that I'm testing. It's something that I might change back to 2 at some point. But so far, my deck has worked wonders with just 1 cycle. So do it as you may. I was playing 3 Colossus for a while with 1 cycle. That was working better. So I'm not sure how 2 Colossus with 1 cycle will work, but we'll see. So again, I probably would side a 3rd Colossus as a very weird side tech, but I would. Then I'm playing 1 copy of Warrior Returning Alive and 2 copies of Reinforcement of the Army. These are pretty good. I feel like it was, I was going to play 3 Rhoda, and I felt like it was better to have MSTs in the deck. So basically, I switched out 2 MSTs. Oh, sorry, I switched out a 3rd Colossus and a 3rd Reinforcement of the Army for 2 MSTs, which I thought was really important to have that in the main deck to stop towers if you're going first against towers. So, I mean, Reinforcement of the Army is very good. It searches out your Soul Halberd, searches out your Shreds, searches out your Colossuses, and again, it's very, very good. And of course, Warrior Returning Alive, basically like a 4th Unicorn, returning a warrior from your graveyard to your hand. Of course, Trishula, stuff like that. So it was just something I probably replaced the 2nd Trishula for that card, and it's worked wonders so far. So there's that, and then I'm playing the other search card in the form of Preparation of Rites. Of course, every deck is going to play this card as like the best, like the best card in the deck. So we're playing that, and then of course the 2 MST. I don't like playing this card. I would flip this out for again a 3rd Colossus and a 3rd Rhoda, but unfortunately we have to play the MSTs in the main deck. So there's that, and then for the final 2 cards in the deck, playing 2 traps in the form of Vanities and Tarantula. I feel like if you get either one off in the mirror match, you kind of win, because of the fact that if they waste a lot of resources and you're still going plus, both Nekroz deck will go significantly plus. However, if you can get either one of these off, they're searching for their mirrors and they're cycling through their resources, and you can TT them when you don't have anything on board. You already clear your field with Valkyrias. You drew 2 cards. And Torrential Tributes is so relevant in that match. So is Vanities. Vanities basically does the same thing, where they commit to a certain play, and if you activate Vanities, they actually have nothing to get over, because even if they're playing, unless they have the MST, even if they're playing Dance Princess, they probably didn't search Dance Princess, and they don't have the Decisive Armor, they pretty much lose that match. So both cards are relevant in the mirror match. They're relevant in pretty much every match you'll play, and they're very good. So we're going to play that. And for the extra deck could be tweaked a little bit, not too much. I will go through the Kaleidoscope text first. We're gonna play 2 copies of Herald of the Arclight. Arclight's pretty good. I don't know, obviously it's Arclight. You don't have to explain everything, but I really just Cataster. I feel like this is good because it gives you access to Gungnir, so sorry, not Gungnir, rather Cataster, rather, and it's a nice card to have, special a Cataster from your hand, so that's good. And then I'm playing the 1/5-headed dragon. I feel like I should have played Star Eater. I can't find my Star Eater at the moment, but at the same time there is no room for it right now in my extra deck, so I don't feel the need for Star Eater, but I would play it if I could find it, and maybe if I could cut something. But I really like everything I'm playing right now, so those are my 4 Kaleidoscope targets. I don't think you need so many more, so playing that. And then for the rank 4s, playing quite a lot of them. We're playing Gaijusto Emerald. Obviously you have to recycle your stuff back. We're playing the number 52 Diamond Crab King. This I picked up recently just because of Towers. I mean, Towers is so hard to get over. What I like about a Soul Halberd is the fact that you can special that and then normal summon your Jews, your Manju Senjus, and you can overlay for Diamond Crab King easier than you would in other builds where you would have to search your Unicorn and your Kaleidoscope to just make the Diamond Crab King. And once you get over Towers, you would blow each other up. You could search a mirror, but in other builds, they would be slowed down, and they couldn't get rid of their pendulum scale as easily. And I feel like in this build, it's so much easier to make a Soul Halberd if they have Towers, and then I have Manju or Senju, and then, after you make Diamond Crab King, you still have a whole lot of advantage to try to get rid of their scales. So again, that's pretty good. So I do like the Crab King in there for that. And then I play the Dweller, obviously, for Burning Abyss, and for actually Cosmos, because this becomes if you actually do get a water under it, which Unicorn would be a water, it would gain 500 attack. So you can get over Cosmo. You can get over a Cosmo with that. So I think that's pretty good. But other than that, we are playing Diamond Crab King. Sorry, not Diamond Dire Wolf, rather, and we are playing number 80 Rhapsody Berserk, And a card that I actually like to play in this deck is number 82, Heartland Draco. So I feel like a lot of times I would get my opponent down to close to 2,000, and I want to be able to finish them off. And I know we're playing Cowboy, but still, I would like to play another card that could just burn my opponent out for damage, and I feel like that's really important. So Heartland Draco's in there for that. Because sometimes if your opponent gets you down to a minimal amount of life points, and they have a full board, and you don't have the Master Removal to get rid of it, Heartland Draco's is that simple, easy way to get over. Of course, you're playing a Soul Halberd, so all of these cards are even more relevant in the extra deck. So, playing that, and then I'm playing one Exiton Knight, just, again, for first turn Exiton Knight, so good against back row decks. And then I'm playing one Castell, because it's another great rank 4, it's for spot removal, and one Gaga Cowboy for another burn damage card. So we're playing that, and to finish off the list, we are playing the two pairs of Tower Knights. We're playing Ptolemaeus and Diamond. Diamond's relevant. I got it off against the Infernoid match. I won that one. So again, it's also good against Lightsworns. It's good against a lot of dark type decks as well. So it's very relevant. Ptolemaeus. I was playing it. Pleiades. I was playing Pleiades for a little while, and I did like it, but there was no room, so unfortunately I had to cut it. So anyway, guys, that's a deck profile. I'm sorry if I'm giving you guys like too much of a lot of deck profiles at a time, like one big heap of deck profiles, because I'm off to college now, and I come home on the weekends, and I get to do some deck profiles for you guys, so it's quite nice to be able to do that, and hopefully I'll keep on giving you guys some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content as the channel progresses. So anyway, guys, this is Hanx-Saber signing out. Peace, guys. Deuce. Don't forget to friend me on Facebook, join my group, The Titan Takeover, as well as the Ignoble Lifestyle Facebook group, and subscribe. Thank you, guys. Peace.